All right, so hi Mike. Why are you involved in the National Park City project?
Yeah, hi, Owen, hi, Evan. Yeah, I mean, when I was approached about it at the early stages of it, and just had a look at what the motivation behind it was, and I mean, straight away, I immediately just liked the movement that was going on here, and I mean, I guess the basic idea is to try to improve the life of the people within Galway City by improving the environment, and then connecting the people to an improved environment. So there's kind of this synergy going on between the environment and then the quality of life of the people. And there's a movement to improve both the environment and then the lives of the people, and to develop this connection between people and the environment. So that was kind of at a very basic level why I was interested. And then I was looking at some of the other people who were involved, and I saw there were some people who could affect change. And I feel that this project has the ability to get things done. It's going to take time, you know. None of these things happen too quickly, but I think it's a really good step in the right direction.
And so, Mike, so at the minute, what's your profession and where are you working?
Yeah, my basic profession is I'm a civil engineer, but for most of my working life, I've been working in the area of water engineering, and now I'm in the university. I'm a professor in civil engineering in NUIG, and so there I teach a lot of courses in hydraulics, in water engineering, and then I also run a research group in water engineering. So most of my work over the last 20, 30 years is in that area.
And what is your role in the National Park City project?
Yeah, my role is as kind of a champion in the water space, in water hydrology space. So it's kind of to be there as a sounding board for any projects or any developments that happen within the water area, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Good. And what do you think is important about the National Park City for the people of Galway?
Yeah, I suppose one of the things that the National Park City is trying to do is make the people, as well as obviously improving the environment, but it's making people more aware of the environment, because Galway City is situated in a very interesting place in that we've got the sea at one side, we've got a nice river running through the city, which is going up into this fabulous lake, biggest lake in the country. And then we're also situated just on the edge of Connemara and on a rural landscape going northwards up into the lake. So I think one of the things it'll do is make the people who live within the city, who often just kind of dwell and look within the city, to look just a little bit outside, and you see this greater landscape and environment. So I think it'll contribute to that. And I also hope it'll contribute to more sustainable planning and development into the future. That if we get this status, then the planning that will take place and the development in the future will take place within this newer context, which I think will have a big benefit for all the people living in the city.
We're designing an outdoor classroom that could potentially go into one of the parks. We're just wondering, would you have any advice to give us towards the outdoor classroom, or just as two civil engineers starting out on their first project?
Yeah, and is this for, what kind of age group is this for? Is this up to primary, secondary?
For anyone, it's just
any age group that
okay, okay. Yeah, I suppose what I think you could do there is, I mean, there's a number of things. One is you could look at it from as part of an outdoor classroom. It'd be interesting to have some kind of recreational facility within that. So I think you could develop stretches of the canals. I would link it, kind of a part of it at least, to the canal system in Galway, where you could develop things like canoeing or kayaking on the canals. Obviously, this needs to be done in a safe environment, and there needs to be engineering put into this. You could develop an outdoor swimming pool, again, within a nice, safe area. Or you could set up some kind of a little workshop to teach young people, I don't know what age we're talking about, but how to make rafts, and that whole notion about buoyancy and keeping something floating on the water, and then having little rafting competitions or little rafting exercises. I think they could love that. Obviously they're going to wear a life jacket, so if they fall in, they're going to be okay. So I think there's a lot you could do in the recreational space in the water. I also think that you could use the water for maybe the canals or maybe even part of the river as some kind of an outdoor laboratory. So if you pick certain locations, you could, for example, put in a water wheel, and you could see how that water wheel starts rotating, and you could hook that up to a generator, and you could generate small amounts of energy that you could use to power light bulbs or different things like that. So you could use it as a very nice outdoor teaching laboratory to show how you can very easily, and it's not difficult to use just processes that are happening in nature to harness them for the benefit of people, So I think, and that's just one example, but I think you could actually devise a series of outdoor kind of laboratories or experiments that would be very engaging. And I guess, of course, there's a whole load of things you could do then just with water in terms of having trails, science or nature trails around the canals, and looking at the kind of flora, fauna, the fish life, etc. That's happening. You could teach kids about the water quality. Why is it either safe or not safe to drink that water? How you might be able to generate hydropower. Maybe one of the other areas that Galway is interesting in a sense, well, from my point of view as an engineer, is you get flooding, and the flooding is coming in both from the sea on a high tide and the wind, and then you get flooding going down from the river. So on certain times when things like this are beginning to happen, you could actually explain, you could develop a kind of classroom around that, explaining the force of nature for good and bad. Good is the hydro side, and bad is obviously this flooding if it gets out of hand, So they're just a few ideas, So
Thanks very much.
hope they may be of some use to you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.